Right now on Up with KREM, state workers are pushing back as vaccine mandate quickly approaches. Why some say they will risk losing their job before getting the shot.
The Coeur d'Alene Public School District will be having their board meeting over Zoom after law enforcement recommended they do it virtually instead of in person. Today at 5, they'll be deciding whether to accept the resignation of 2 of their board members.
We're in the mid-70s today and tomorrow, but a big cool down is in the works. And as cooler temperatures move in during the middle part of the week, it's likely we don't see 70 again for the rest of 2021.
It's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. Why do we have to have these things out in the ocean?
One of the largest oil spills in California's recent history is threatening wildlife and closing beaches. How crews are scrambling to contain the damage.
Up with KREM begins now with Tim Pham, Channing Curtis, and Jeremy Legoo.
Well, good morning and happy Monday, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. Today, the Coeur d'Alene Public Schools Board will hold a meeting. Now, this comes after a group of protesters disrupted a special meeting held last month. Nicole Hernandez is live in Coeur d'Alene this morning with a little preview of what's on tonight's agenda. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, Channing. So right now I am live at the Midtown Center meeting room here on 5th Street, and this is where the Coeur d'Alene Public School District held their board meeting last month. The spot where I'm standing right now, well, it's empty now. Last month, there were protesters surrounding this building, specifically talking about the mask guidelines for Coeur d'Alene Public School District. So take a look at what that was like.
No more masks! No more masks! No more masks!
Now, the meeting was originally called to discuss a possible mask mandate. There were safety concerns, though, after a group of protesters entered the district office, forcing the building to go into lockdown. Employees eventually did leave safely. Some protesters said they were simply there to make their voice heard about the mandates, and others said they were angry and called for board members to be fired.
We're not here to cause problems. We're not here to fight. We're here to be listened to and for our children to go to school freely without masks.
I'm tired of the mask. Go yourself. I don't know how you sleep at night. You know what you guys are doing to people. You're exploiting their fear.
Now, last week, 2 board members, Tambra Pickford and Chair Jennifer Brumley, submitted their resignations to the board. Tonight, the school board will vote on whether to accept those resignations. Right now, though, masks are recommended but not required in the district, and both Pickford and Brumley were in favor of keeping as the current guidelines. So today's meeting will be happening over Zoom. Law enforcement here in Coeur d'Alene told the board members that there is not a safe place to hold the meeting in person at this point. So that meeting is happening today at 5 o'clock this evening. We will be updating you on Up with KREM tomorrow morning and, of course, this evening on KREM.com. Live in Coeur d'Alene, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
In the meantime, today is the last day Washington healthcare and state workers can get vaccinated against COVID-19 in order to meet Governor Inslee's vaccine mandate deadline of October 18th. The mandate covers state, medical, and educational employees. Johnson & Johnson is the only remaining vaccine that people can get to be fully vaccinated by the deadline. You can also get a second dose of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines if you've already initiated the process. Now, hundreds of workers in the state have applied to get religious or medical exemptions. Some people who did receive an exemption could still face losing their job. 48 members of the Spokane Fire Department could be out of work in a few weeks due to the mandate. The department worries that losing so many firefighters could pose a risk to public safety.
I'm very concerned, and I've worked in downtown Spokane for 20 years, and it's sad to see that a solvable problem is being gone after with a solution that discards its employees and jeopardizes public safety.
The city says there's no way to offer an accommodation that would be in compliance with the mandate and allow unvaccinated first responders to continue in their role.
The bottom line is the state mandate is in place. The city is required to comply with that state mandate. Making those accommodations was not safe for the public or for those on shift and in the department with those firefighters.
The city says it will be tough to enforce rules such as a 24-hour mask wearing in fire stations, and that testing requirements could cost up to $1 million a year. Now, for those who still need to get vaccinated, there are several options available to get the J&J vaccine. There's actually a clinic being held in Medical Lake today from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. Now, registration is required, so to sign up, you can go to prepmod.doh.wa.gov. It's right there on your screen. And you can also call your local pharmacy to see any vaccine appointment availabilities. All right, the time is now 6:03. Let's get a look at the forecast. Jeremy, it is a Monday morning in October. I think we've been a little spoiled though, because this weekend was nice and sunshiny and warm, and it felt a little bit more like summer than it did like fall.
Yeah, I think you just summed it all up right there. This past weekend, likely the last time we see 70 degrees on a weekend. Today and tomorrow, likely the last time we see 70 degrees here in the inland Northwest this year. We've got a big shift in the weather pattern, and that starts working its way in on Wednesday. So for now, it's temps in the mid-40s as we kick things off this morning. You're a little cooler in Sandpoint, 34 degrees there to start the day, but expect a colder few days ahead. We've got a little bit of cloud cover right now. That cloud cover in central Washington and northeastern Washington, now moving into North Idaho, is going to be about it. I don't think we have much more of this today. It's going to basically be a mix of clouds and sun taking us through the day as temps top out in the mid-70s later on this afternoon. Yes, the mid-70s, and it's the mid-70s today, and tomorrow we're in the mid-70s once again, but a major cool down is in the works. By Wednesday, we don't even hit 60, and that means that these 2 days are ones to enjoy, and I'm going to let you know why coming up in the full forecast.
It's time now for your morning rush. That means more news in less time. Washington truckers are asking drivers to obey the state's move over law. According to AAA Washington, 4 tow truck drivers have been struck on the side of the road in Washington state since December, and reports of these accidents are becoming increasingly common.
People may not be aware that a tow truck provider working at the side of the road is considered an emergency vehicle, and they need just as much room as emergency responders like police, fire, and road construction.
You see that?
All we ask is please slow down. You know, how many lives do we have to end up getting hurt or losing in order for people to understand?
The move over law requires drivers to move over one lane or slow down when approaching any vehicle that is stopped for an emergency. Hundreds of women marched in downtown Spokane and across the nation in support of abortion rights on Saturday. The march comes as the Texas abortion law took effect in September, and protesters from many organizations marched together in Spokane to stand with the women of Texas.
We want to show solidarity with women who are being subjected to these harsh and cruel, inhumane laws. We also want to protect ourselves and just show that we are going to keep resisting these laws, and we will not allow it to happen, without great resistance. We're going to keep doing this.
Marchers say there is concern that the Texas law will not be the last one to happen in the country. And there's still a chance to become a multi-millionaire. No one won Saturday's Powerball jackpot drawing. That means the biggest lottery prize in more than 8 months is growing. The estimated jackpot for the drawing tonight is $670 million. The odds of winning that jackpot, though, are 1 in 292.2 million. And that's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. There could soon be another way to get your vaccinations if you're afraid of needles, and it could be as simple as a small patch on your arm. Miles of a popular California beach is closed after one of the largest oil spills in recent years, and experts are saying cleanup could take months.
And today's average high, well, it's in the mid-60s, so we're almost 10 degrees above normal in terms of temperatures. I'm going to let you know how much we cool down in terms of averages in the week to come, and how much we cool down just in terms of our day-to-day weather. They're both pretty big.